You weary, traveler, adrift in the relentless currents of modern life? Do you feel the whisper of your soul yearning for something more, a deeper connection to the sacred within? The year 2025 is not just another tick of the clock. It's a celestial invitation, a gentle nudge from the universe to awaken. Imagine silencing the cacophony of the world, the endless scrolling, the relentless expectations, the deafening pursuit of what society deems success, and instead, turning your gaze inward. Have you felt that unsettling sensation of spinning on a wheel, working tirelessly yet arriving nowhere? This, beloved ones, is the result of a heart disconnected from its true purpose. But what if I told you that 2025 holds the potential for profound transformation? A sacred opportunity to reclaim your inner power, to realign with your soul's divine intention, and to liberate yourself from the burdens that have held you captive. Why is this so crucial in this very moment? In a world where everything moves at a dizzying pace, true fulfillment is not found in endless activity, but in the sacred knowing of why you walk your path. A luminous soul once said, "Working hard for that which does not resonate with the heart is a path of stress. Yet to toil for that which kindles the spirit is a journey of pure passion." Imagine how different your life would be if every choice, every action resonated with the deepest truth within your being. The challenge is clear. Many souls are so caught up in the expectations and demands of others that they forget to nurture their own essence. This path leads to inner turmoil, a persistent feeling of emptiness, a profound disconnect from the sacred. But fear not, for this is not your final destination. By anchoring yourself in the wisdom of the ages, in the timeless teachings of the Buddha, you can liberate yourself from these chains and reclaim the sanctuary of your inner peace. If there is one sacred knowing you are to take from this journey, allow it to be this: nurturing your inner self is not a selfish act. It's a divine necessity. Are you ready to embark on this journey of transformation, this sacred exploration of self? Join me, and together we shall begin. Beloved seekers, as we embark on this journey together, let us delve into the very heart of our being, into the core of what it truly means to live a life of purpose, peace, and profound connection. The path laid out before us is not new. It is an ancient pathway, illuminated by the wisdom of generations, by the timeless teachings of the Buddha. Yet, the way we walk this path, the way we live this path, must be wholly our own, a unique expression of our individual soul. 1. The sacred mirror of self-awareness. The dance of life often feels like a chaotic symphony, with each note demanding our attention. Yet, true mastery lies in the ability to step back from the orchestra pit and listen to the quiet melody within our own hearts. Self-awareness is not a passive observation. It's an active engagement, a sacred dance with the self. In Buddhist teachings, we are invited to become the compassionate witness of our own lives, to observe the sacred dance of our thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. This is the beginning of true liberation. It is not about fixing our so-called flaws, but about accepting and understanding the totality of our being. The Buddha's profound insight, what we think, we become, carries immense weight. Every thought, every feeling, every intention is a seed that we are constantly sowing. If we are not mindful of what we are planting, how can we expect to cultivate a garden of peace and joy? Modern life, with its constant barrage of stimuli, often pulls us into the whirlwind of reactivity. We scroll endlessly, comparing ourselves to others, seeking external validation. But self-awareness is the key that unlocks the door to liberation. It's like holding up a sacred mirror to our souls, allowing us to see ourselves with clarity and compassion. Let me share a story. A young woman named Anya was caught in the relentless cycle of seeking approval from social media. She would meticulously curate her posts, crafting an image of perfection that bore no resemblance to the turmoil within. One day, while walking through a serene forest, she paused by a tranquil stream and saw her reflection in the water. It wasn't the carefully constructed image of her online persona. It was her authentic, bare face. In that moment, she realized the depth of the deception she had been perpetuating, not just to others but to herself. She felt a profound sense of both shame and liberation. It was the start of her sacred journey to self-awareness. From that point forward, she decided to take a step back and to cultivate the practice of spending at least 15 minutes a day in silence, reflecting and being with herself. It was in that space that she realized she had been living for others and not herself. She realized that the endless striving for likes and comments was a hollow pursuit, a desperate attempt to fill a void that could only be filled by self-love and acceptance. This realization was painful, yet it opened the door for her to start living her authentic truth. In her newfound practice of quiet reflection, Anya began to journal her thoughts and feelings. At first, it felt strange to simply be with herself, with her own inner world. But as she persisted, a sense of calmness began to bloom within her. She started to recognize the patterns of her behavior, the triggers that led to her seeking validation from others. She noticed the inner critic that would berate her, and she learned to be compassionate with herself. Through this, Anya learned that self-awareness was not about judging herself, but about understanding herself with kindness and compassion. The wisdom of the Buddha teaches us that our inner world is like a garden. We are responsible for cultivating this garden with care and attention. The seeds of our thoughts and feelings, if left untended, can grow into weeds of self-doubt, anxiety, and despair. But when we cultivate the garden of our hearts with self-awareness, we create a sanctuary of peace, love, and joy. As we become aware of our true nature, we are able to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. For you, beloved, I invite you to take up this sacred practice. Find a quiet corner where you can be alone with your breath. Close your eyes and gently invite yourself into the present moment. As thoughts arise, observe them with the loving gaze of a compassionate witness. Do not judge them. Do not try to change them. Simply allow them to come and go like clouds in the sky. This simple practice, practiced daily, will become your sanctuary, a sacred space where you can meet your truest self. I encourage you to keep a sacred journal where you write your thoughts, feelings, dreams, and even fears. This creates a safe space for you to express yourself and allows you to identify your behavioral patterns and triggers. As you get to know yourself more, your ability to navigate the dance of life with greater grace will grow. This is the sacred path of self-awareness. It is the path to knowing yourself as you truly are, a magnificent soul, worthy of love and acceptance. 2. The compass of purpose. Discovering your sacred why. In the chaotic marketplace of life, we often find ourselves running in 1,000 different directions, caught up in the pursuit of things that do not align with our deepest values. Like a ship without a compass, we drift aimlessly, tossed by the waves of societal expectations and fleeting trends. But the Buddhist teachings offer a profound insight. Within each of us lies a sacred compass, a unique calling that guides us towards our true purpose. The question, then, is not what you should be doing, but why. Your why is not a mere goal or ambition. It is the sacred essence that gives meaning and purpose to your life. It's not something that can be found in external achievements or possessions, but something that is unearthed from the depths of your own soul. Think of the sacred path of the Buddha. His purpose was to alleviate suffering. This purpose was born of deep compassion for all beings. This is the nature of why. It is a deeply felt aspiration that resonates from the core of our hearts and souls. It is the sacred mission that sets our soul on fire, the thing we yearn to do, not because we have to, but because we feel compelled to do so by the deepest calling within. Let me share a story of a soul named David. He was a very successful executive in a high-powered corporate company and from the outside, seemed to have it all. He had a big house, a beautiful car, and all the material things that society tells us will make us happy. However, in the dead of night, he felt a persistent feeling of being empty and lost. Deep within, he knew he was not living his purpose. He felt like he was just another cog in the wheel, mindlessly performing his job for financial gain. He realized that he was not contributing to the world in a way that was meaningful to him. One day, he decided to take a sabbatical and embarked on a spiritual retreat in the mountains. It was there, surrounded by the stillness of nature, that he was able to hear the whispers of his heart. He realized his why was to help others heal from trauma. He had always felt a deep sense of compassion for those who suffered. He had seen the suffering of his family members when he was a child and felt a calling to help others through their pain. It was a difficult decision to leave his well-paid job and the life he had become accustomed to. He knew that it would be challenging to start something from scratch and to go against the expectations of society. However, it was one that gave him immense joy and purpose. He started working with a non-profit organization that helped those who had experienced trauma, and he found a deep sense of fulfillment and inner peace. David's story is a reminder that true purpose does not come from external recognition or achievement. It is not about fame, fortune, or status. It is about discovering the sacred calling that resides within your heart, the unique contribution that only you can make to the world. When you align your life with your why, your life begins to transform. Every moment takes on deeper meaning. You experience a newfound sense of energy and inspiration, and the challenges you encounter become stepping stones on your sacred path. Your why becomes your guiding star, leading you through the darkness and providing unwavering direction and clarity. For you, beloved one, I invite you now to embark on a sacred journey of self-discovery. Find a quiet space, free from distractions, where you can truly be present with yourself. Ask yourself these sacred questions. What truly stirs my heart? What brings me the greatest joy? What contribution do I yearn to make to the world? Listen intently for the gentle whispers of your heart and write them down in your journal, for they are the seeds of your why. Don't be afraid if you are not clear on your purpose now. Just like the sacred lotus, it will emerge in its time. The more you listen to your inner wisdom, the clearer your why will become. Embrace this journey of self-discovery with courage and allow your true purpose to blossom. The universe is always conspiring in your favor. 3. Detachment, embracing freedom from external validation. In the dance of life, we often find ourselves caught in the relentless pursuit of validation, seeking approval from external sources in the hope of filling the emptiness we feel within. But this pursuit is like trying to fill a bottomless cup. The more we seek, the more we find ourselves chasing an elusive illusion. The Buddhist teachings offer a liberating path, detachment from external validation. It is the path to true freedom, the pathway to liberation from the never-ending cycle of seeking and craving. Detachment is not about apathy or indifference. It's about liberating your self-worth from the shifting sands of others' opinions. It's about realizing that your intrinsic value lies within, in the sacred essence of your being, and is not dependent on the praise or acceptance of others. You are a sacred child of the universe, and your worth is inherent, not earned, and certainly not measured by the number of likes or followers you have. You are a masterpiece in the making, and the only validation you require is your own. Let me share the story of a gifted artist named Isabella. She was exceptionally talented, yet her creative heart was bound by her relentless need for praise. She painted magnificent pieces, but it was not for the pure joy of creation, but from a desperate need for external validation. Her worth was so heavily influenced by the reception her work received that she was plagued by anxiety and insecurity. She would spend hours scrutinizing the comments on her art, feeling elated when someone praised her work, and devastated by the slightest criticism. One day, she came across a beautiful teaching from the Buddha. The root of suffering is attachment. In that moment, she realized the trap she was caught in. She realized she was not creating from her own heart, but from a place of need to be accepted. This marked the start of her journey to detachment. She decided she would dedicate her work to the pure joy of creation, without any expectation of applause. She decided she would create art for the sole purpose of expressing her inner essence. It was in this space of freedom that her art truly flourished. She realized that true creativity was about expressing her inner self, not about chasing external validation. Isabella's story is a beautiful reminder that when you detach yourself from the need for external validation, you free yourself to live a life of authenticity and joy. Your worth is not dependent on external approval. It is based on your inherent divine essence. For you, dearest one, I now invite you to a sacred journey of releasing the need for external praise. Observe your actions, your motivations, and become aware when you seek approval from others. Take a breath, and with every exhale, Let go of the need to be validated. Instead of seeking praise, ask yourself whether you are proud of your efforts, whether your actions align with your values. Focus on the process of your own becoming and see beauty in your inner journey. Create your own sacred space away from social media, where you can connect with your authentic self and cultivate the freedom to express it. Limit the time you spend online. Take sacred time to connect with your own inner world. Instead of looking outwards, look inwards and find the sacred validation that you have always been seeking. 4. The art of surrender, focusing on what you can control. In the vast tapestry of life, many threads are woven by forces beyond our control. The shifting tides of fortune, the ebb and flow of relationships, the unpredictable nature of the world itself can leave us feeling overwhelmed, lost in the ocean of uncertainty. The Buddhist path teaches us that true freedom lies not in our ability to control all aspects of life, but in our mastery of our responses to its inevitable changes. It is the path of acceptance, a dance with the present moment. It is not a path of inaction, but a path of wisdom, where we make the sacred choice to focus on what is within our power. The core of this teaching is the sacred art of surrender. It does not mean passivity or resignation. It means that we make the sacred choice to focus on what we truly have power over, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. It's like the image of a sailor caught in a storm. They cannot stop the raging sea, but they can adjust the sails and navigate the ship to safety. Our lives are like ships in a storm. We can be thrown around by the external chaos, or we can take command of our inner world and navigate the turbulent waters with courage and wisdom. We are not the victims of circumstance. We are the creators of our own sacred experience. Let me share a story of a man called John. John was a very successful real estate developer, and he felt an intense need to control all aspects of his business and life. He felt like he needed to always have everything figured out. He felt like the weight of the world rested on his shoulders. When the global financial crisis hit, his world crumbled around him. He lost his business, his house, and everything that he had been working towards. He fought hard to maintain control, but the more he tried, the more his world spiraled. He became increasingly stressed and anxious. His health started to deteriorate and his relationships with those he loved started to suffer. Finally, he fell to his knees in utter desperation. It was at that time he made the conscious choice to focus only on what he could control, his own thoughts and actions. He realized that he could not change his external circumstances, but that he could change how he responded to them. He started a new business, one that aligned more with his heart. He started giving back to his community. He was finally free from the chains of needing to be in control and found peace in the sacred art of surrender. He realized he was not a victim of circumstance, but that he had the power to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. John's story is a powerful reminder that surrendering to the flow of life is not about giving up. It is about accepting what is and focusing your energy on what you can control. It's about cultivating inner peace, no matter what circumstances you are facing. For you, dearest one, I now invite you to look into your life and examine where you are seeking to control the uncontrollable. Look at all areas of your life, your work, relationships, and even your health. What things are causing you the most stress? What are the things you cannot control? I encourage you to write these down in your sacred journal and make the conscious choice to let them go. Make the conscious choice to focus your energies on where you truly have control. Every day, take a few moments to reflect on your sacred journey and ask yourself, how am I responding to life's challenges? Am I focusing on what I can control? Am I surrendering to the dance of life? In doing so, you will experience a new sense of freedom, peace, and clarity. You will find that life's challenges become opportunities for growth and transformation, and you will begin to live in accordance with the sacred flow of life. 5. Alignment. Living a life of sacred harmony. In the relentless pursuit of achievement, we often find ourselves pulled in different directions, living a life that does not resonate with the deepest truths of our soul. This disconnect can leave us feeling empty, even when we are surrounded by material success and admiration from others. The Buddhist teachings offer a beautiful pathway. Aligning your actions with your sacred values is the pathway to a life that is filled with meaning and purpose. It is not about living a life that is in accordance with society's values, but about living a life that is aligned with the values of your own sacred heart. When your actions are in harmony with your values, your life flows effortlessly and you experience a deep sense of purpose. It's as though you are walking the path you were always meant to walk. It's not about achieving external validation or societal success. It is about living in alignment with your own internal sacred truth. It is about creating a life that is a beautiful expression of your own unique essence. Let me share with you the story of Maya, a very talented lawyer. From an early age, Maya was told that she was destined to be a lawyer. Her parents had always wanted that for her and she followed their expectations. She was successful and highly regarded by her peers. She was making a lot of money and from the outside, seemed like she had it all. However, beneath the surface, Maya felt a deep sense of unease. She felt like she was living a life that did not resonate with her own authentic truth. She felt a yearning for a life that felt more meaningful and fulfilling. After much self-reflection, Maya realized that her sacred value was to help protect the voiceless. She realized that she was meant to use her talents to serve others, rather than for financial gain. She decided to leave her corporate job and started working with a charity that helped refugees find safe passage. She had finally chosen to align her actions with her values and in doing so, found a deep sense of fulfillment. The sense of satisfaction she experienced when helping those less fortunate than herself was far greater than any financial rewards she had experienced in her corporate job. Maya's story is a beautiful reminder that living in alignment with your values is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It is about choosing a life of purpose and meaning over a life of emptiness and despair. For you, dearest one, I now invite you to embark on a sacred exploration of your own core values. Take a few moments to ask yourself, what qualities do I value the most? What brings me a sense of deep peace? What values make my heart sing? Write these values in your sacred journal and begin the practice of aligning your actions with them. Every decision you make, every word you speak, and every action you take, ask yourself if it truly honors your sacred values. When your actions and your sacred values are aligned, you will find yourself walking the path that is meant for you and experiencing a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. This is the path to a life that is truly yours, a life that is an expression of your unique and beautiful essence. 6. The power of focus, cultivating a peaceful mind. In the modern world, our minds are like restless monkeys, constantly jumping from one distraction to the next. Emails, notifications, and endless to-do lists pull us in 1,000 different directions, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and disconnected. The Buddhist teachings offer a profound remedy, cultivating the power of focus. By bringing our awareness into the present moment, we begin to experience a profound sense of peace and clarity. It is a path to liberation from the tyranny of the restless mind. Focus is not about ignoring the noise of the world. It's about learning to find the stillness within the chaos. It's about training your mind to settle into the present moment, to be fully present with what is, without judgment or resistance. It is about living each moment as it is meant to be lived, with full awareness, intention, and presence. Let me share a story of a young woman named Sarah who lived a highly stressful life in a big city. She was constantly juggling many tasks at once and felt overwhelmed. She was always thinking about the future or the past and was never able to be fully present. She would wake up in the morning, grab her phone, and immediately start scrolling through social media, already overwhelmed by the chaos of the online world. She would rush through her breakfast, never being fully present with the food she was eating. She would listen to a podcast while she was driving to work, feeling anxious about the day ahead. She would multitask through her workday, never fully focusing on anything. And by the end of the day, she would feel depleted, anxious, and lost. After experiencing a health scare, she knew she had to make a change. She realized that the way she was living was not sustainable and she was longing for a life that was more peaceful and fulfilling. She went on a silent retreat where she learned the power of mindfulness and cultivating focus. She came back to the city and started implementing daily mindfulness practices into her life. She started her day with meditation. She put her phone away when she ate, and she focused on one task at a time. Even in the busiest of days, She found the stillness within the chaos, and her life began to change in many positive ways. She found she was far more productive, she was sleeping better, and her relationships with those she loved became far more meaningful. She experienced a new sense of inner peace that she had never experienced before. Sarah's story is a reminder that true peace and fulfillment are not found in external circumstances or achievements. They are found within, in the sacred stillness of the present moment. The practice of focusing our attention is like training a muscle. With dedication and practice, we can develop the ability to find stillness and peace in every moment, no matter the circumstance. When you are able to fully focus, you can appreciate the beauty of life with more clarity. You are able to savor the moment as it is being lived. For you, beloved one, take a few moments to find a quiet corner and sit in a comfortable position. Let your hands rest on your lap and allow your eyes to gently close. Become aware of the sensation of your breath coming in and out of your body. As thoughts come, simply notice them and bring your attention back to your breath. It may feel difficult at first, but with persistent practice, you will be amazed by the sense of inner peace and stillness you will experience. Commit to practicing mindfulness at least 10 minutes a day and watch how your ability to focus transforms your life in beautiful ways. In all aspects of your life, bring your full presence to everything you do. Savor your food, listen fully to others, and immerse yourself in the present moment. This practice is the key to experiencing joy and peace in every moment. It is the path to unlocking the full potential of your life. 7. Emotional resilience. Navigating life storms with grace. The dance of life is never without its challenges. The sudden storms of change, the unexpected losses, and the inevitable bumps in the road can leave us feeling overwhelmed, hurt, and lost. But the Buddhist teachings offer a powerful insight. While we cannot control the storms of life, we can cultivate the sacred stillness within that allows us to navigate the challenges with greater grace. It is the path of inner strength, the path to transformation and growth. It is about discovering the wisdom that resides within your heart. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding the pain of life, but in our capacity to feel the pain without being consumed by it. It's about meeting each challenge with an open heart and unwavering courage. It's about understanding that life is not meant to be without pain. It is about learning to embrace and accept the full spectrum of human experience. Let me share a story of a mother named Eleanor, who lost her only child to an accident. The grief she felt was almost unbearable. She felt like her world was collapsing around her. Initially, she was overwhelmed by the pain and loss, but in the deepest despair, she discovered the sacred truth about emotional resilience. Through her practice of mindfulness, she learned to be the observer of her pain without being consumed by it. She learned to create space for her feelings, to allow herself to experience grief without judgment or resistance. She learned that it was possible to experience intense grief whilst also experiencing an unwavering sense of peace within. As time went by, she was able to channel the pain of loss into a deep sense of compassion for those who were also suffering. She became a counselor to others who had also experienced loss, her heart filled with empathy and grace. Her own personal grief became the source of her sacred service to others. Eleanor's story is a powerful reminder that emotional resilience is not about being immune to pain. It's about discovering the strength and wisdom that lies within you. It's about transforming your pain into an opportunity for growth, healing, and transformation. It's about discovering that even in the darkest of moments, your light will continue to shine. For you, dearest one, I invite you now to cultivate emotional resilience. Take time to become aware of your feelings. Create space for the emotions you have been avoiding and allow yourself to feel without judgment. Observe the nature of your thoughts and emotions and see them for what they are. They are simply passing sensations, nothing more and nothing less. When you are faced with a difficult situation, pause, take a breath and observe your thoughts and emotions without being consumed by them. You are not your thoughts and emotions. You are the loving observer. Cultivate compassion for yourself and others, and you will experience an unwavering sense of peace and grace. This practice is the key to transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and transformation. It is the pathway to a life that is lived with courage, compassion, and grace. 8. A growth mindset, transforming challenges into opportunities. In the dance of life, we often see challenges as obstacles, as proof of our inadequacy or limitations. But the Buddhist teachings offer a transformative perspective. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every perceived failure is a sacred lesson that can guide us on the path towards wisdom. By cultivating a growth mindset, we embrace the dance of life with a sense of curiosity and adventure, knowing that every step we take brings us closer to our true potential. It is a path of continuous learning, a path to limitless growth. It is about seeing the divine perfection in every moment, even when it is seemingly imperfect. A growth mindset is not about achieving perfection. It's about loving and embracing every step of your journey. It's about understanding that there is always more to learn, always more to discover, and always more to grow into. It's about seeing the gifts within every challenge and embracing the journey with a sense of childlike wonder and curiosity. It is about believing in yourself and your inherent potential. Let me share with you the story of a young artist named Leo, who dreamed of becoming a successful painter. He applied for art schools countless times, but always faced rejection. Initially, he took it as a sign of his inadequacy and almost gave up on his dreams. He believed that he was not good enough and that he would never achieve his dreams. But one day, he came across a teaching that spoke of the importance of embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. This one teaching changed his perspective. He started seeing each rejection not as failure but as an opportunity to refine his craft. He started reflecting on the feedback he received, and he used the criticism to improve his painting skills. He started experimenting with new styles and techniques, and slowly, he began to develop his own unique style. Over time, his art developed significantly, and eventually, he became very well regarded and known for his unique talent. His journey was not about perfection, but about learning and growing through challenges. Leo's story is a reminder that when we see challenges as opportunities for growth, we unlock our full potential. It is a journey of continuous learning, evolving and becoming more of your true, authentic self. For you, dearest one, I now invite you to embark on a journey of cultivating your own growth mindset. Release all ideas of perfection and embrace your imperfections, knowing that you are a beautiful masterpiece in the making. In all aspects of your life, especially when faced with challenges, ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? How can I grow? By reframing your challenges, you can find opportunities for transformation and growth. Remember that every step, no matter how small, is a step closer to your own becoming. Embrace the journey and allow yourself to grow in every aspect of your being. Trust in your inherent wisdom and know that you are capable of achieving far more than you believe. 9. Letting go, the sacred art of release. In the tapestry of life, we often find ourselves clinging to things that no longer serve us. Our attachments to people, to outcomes, to possessions, and even our old stories. These attachments act as chains that bind our spirits and prevent us from experiencing the freedom and joy that is our birthright. The Buddhist teachings offer us a liberating practice, the art of letting go. It's the path of liberation from the never-ending cycle of seeking and craving. It is about creating space for new beginnings. It is about accepting that life is a process of constant change and transformation. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing what no longer serves you so that your heart is free to experience the fullness of this life. It is about creating a space for new love, new opportunities, and a new experience of being. It is about understanding that holding on to things that do not serve you will only cause pain and suffering. Let me share a story of a man named Mark, who was in a very painful and unhealthy relationship for many years. Although he knew in his heart that the relationship was not right for him, he was fearful of letting go. He believed he needed the relationship to feel complete, and he clung on to the hope that things would change. He believed that his happiness was contingent on staying in the relationship, even though it caused him constant pain and suffering. He had become attached to the idea of the relationship, even though it did not serve his highest good. Eventually, he became aware that the relationship was holding him back from being his best version of himself. With immense courage, he decided to let go. He felt a deep pain and loss, but he also felt a deep sense of freedom for the first time in a long time. He realized that letting go was not about weakness, but about strength and courage. He realized that by letting go, he had created space for new love and abundance to enter his life. Mark's story is a reminder that true freedom comes from letting go of all attachments, including people, possessions, outcomes, and even our old stories. It's about accepting the impermanent nature of life and embracing the ever-changing dance of the present moment. For you, beloved one, I invite you now to embark on your own sacred journey of letting go. Look deep within your heart and examine where you are clinging to things that no longer serve you. Is it an old relationship? Is it your job? Is it an old story you have been carrying? Whatever it may be, simply become aware of it. Take a deep breath, and with every exhale, imagine releasing all the old attachments. Release the need to control outcomes. Release your need for validation, and release the belief that you are not enough. When you release what is no longer serving you, you create a space for something better to enter your life. Trust in the sacred process of life and know that you are always held. By letting go, you are creating the space to welcome new love, new opportunities, and a sense of peace. You are stepping into the fullness of your potential and opening yourself to receive all of the abundance that the universe has to offer. 10. Leading authentically, radiating your inner light. In a world that often demands conformity, the most powerful act of service we can offer is to live our own authentic truth. When we walk with courage and integrity, we light a path for others, inspiring them to embrace their own unique gifts and to live with purpose and joy. The Buddhist teachings offer the path of leading through our own sacred truth, simply by being ourselves. It is the path of kindness, compassion, and unwavering integrity. Authentic leadership is not about seeking recognition or approval. It is about expressing the sacred essence that resides within your heart. It is about living in alignment with your own values and inspiring others to do the same. It is about walking the path that is meant for you and creating a world that is filled with beauty, love, and compassion. It is not about power or status. True leadership is about inspiring others through the beauty of your own authentic expression. Let me share a story of a woman called Maya. Maya was a highly successful entrepreneur. However, she was always very insecure and did not believe in her own worth. She was constantly chasing external success, but it did not fill the void that she felt within. She was always fearful of judgment, and she hid her true self from the world. One day, after reading a Buddhist teaching on the importance of self-love, she realized how much she had neglected herself in pursuit of external success. She decided that she would prioritize self-care. She started waking up earlier to practice meditation. She created a sanctuary at home where she could nurture her soul. She began living authentically. She started expressing her opinions, even when they were unpopular. She started sharing her vulnerability and her weaknesses. She started being kind and compassionate to herself. In doing so, she began inspiring her staff and colleagues who recognized her journey and began to adopt her practices. They were inspired by her authenticity and her willingness to be vulnerable. They were inspired by her courage and her genuine expression of self. Maya's story is a powerful reminder that when we are courageous enough to embrace our authentic truth, we inspire others to do the same. Leading authentically is about showing the world the beauty of your own unique light. For you, dearest one, I now invite you to embody your own sacred truth. Release all ideas of who you think you should be and simply be yourself. Embrace your quirks, your imperfections, and your unique expression of the sacred. Nurture yourself and commit to living in accordance with your sacred values. As you nurture yourself, you create an abundance of love that radiates and inspires others. Remember that when you honor your own truth, you inspire others to do the same, and in doing so, contribute to a beautiful tapestry of humanity. Dear friends, as we come to the end of this sacred journey, let us carry the wisdom of the Buddha within our hearts. Remember that life is a beautiful dance of challenges, opportunities, and endless transformation. When you live in accordance with your sacred truth, you are living a life that is filled with purpose, peace, and deep compassion for all beings. I encourage you to share your insights, your stories, and your experiences. Let us create a sacred community of hearts that inspire and uplift one another. I look forward to seeing you on the next leg of our journey. Beloved souls, Our journey together today draws to a close, but remember, this is merely a pause, not an ending. The seeds of wisdom we have planted together today will continue to blossom within your hearts and minds, if you commit to their nurturing. It has been my sacred honor to walk this path alongside you. I deeply thank you for your precious time, your open hearts, and your willingness to delve into the depths of your soul. If the sacred teachings we explored resonated with you, if you felt a stirring within your spirit, then I invite you to join our ever-growing sacred community. Subscribe to this channel and you will always have a sacred space to retreat to and to receive the ancient wisdom of the ages. Your voice matters. Your insights are treasured. Share with us in the comments below how you will begin to integrate these sacred truths into your life. Share a moment, a lesson, or any insight you have gathered in this journey today, so that we may all learn and grow together. Let us connect to each other in the depths of our hearts and create a beautiful community of love. I look forward to seeing you on our next sacred gathering, for our journey together has only just begun. Until then, may your path be illuminated with grace, peace, and profound inner knowing. Namaste.